What is up, lovely people? Candace B here. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. Love to have you here. If you are a subscriber, welcome. Love to have you here. I hope you guys are doing very well. I hope you have had a great trading week, and I hope that you are just enjoying life in general. Today I am back with another account build update on this $500 account build. I feel like I'm always so close. I'm sorry. Let me get out of you guys' faces. I feel like I'm just very all up in your face. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be intrusive or anything. But yes, we're going to be doing an account build update today, just breaking down the trades and of course doing an analysis of forecasting for the week ahead. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I might slow down on these videos doing them every week. Maybe I'll do them every other week just so I have more trades to talk about, just to kind of give myself some time to actually build the account and whatnot, as opposed to every week. And I don't want to feel too pressured to give you these unrealistic results. I've slightly been feeling that, and that's obviously counterproductive because it obviously affects my trading, and that's not what we want to do. We just want to trade our game and trade our strategy and just let the market do its thing. So we'll see. And as a quick disclaimer, guys, the way I trade, me doing this account build, it's all in good spirits, all in fun, whatever the case may be. I could lose, I could win, we don't know, right? We don't know. But I am a student of the markets just like you guys. So I know everybody will have their opinions on, the trades I take or just the account build itself. That's fine. But there's a way to kind of, give your opinion in a positive way. And I feel like I create such a positive environment here, anyone can talk to me, I talk back. Let's just keep it like that, right? Okay, I love y'all. Anyways, let me stop blabbering. Let's get into this video. So it is currently Tuesday, September the 14th, 11:19 p.m. And I'm just waiting for my trading time at midnight and just showing you guys what the market is doing right now. I already did take a trade this morning, around 1:30 in the morning, and it hit take profit at 8:30, and that was a really good trade, I would say. I remember in the last video I was mentioning how in my analysis at the end of the video that I was waiting for price, or I wouldn't be surprised if price had kind of rallied back up, made a double top and pushed down. So it's kind of interesting that price did end up doing that. It pushed up a little bit further, but then it just dropped. This was crazy. I was glad that my take profit was hit before that happened, but essentially the reason why I entered this trade is just because we saw those higher lows, higher highs happening, and price essentially kept coming back to this area and wasn't able to break below and sustain it, and it kept kind of coming back up to this area and staying above it. So once I noticed that, and once it was my trading time, I did enter a buy, and price did pull back a little bit, but then you see how it shot up overnight, and so it was a pretty beautiful trade. So now we just waiting, and what are we doing to stay occupied, to not be in the markets right now? We are watching the Fat Joe versus Ja Rule versus battle, and they just brought out Ashanti, so I'm hype right now. I know you guys can't hear what the music is because I'm not trying to get copywritten, but I'm always on time, and I gave you my all. Now baby, be mine. If you guys know, you know. These are the tunes. So I'm having my little concert right now. And I'm just waiting for price to kind of set up. To be honest, mentally, it wasn't hard to see this happen. I was happier that I was not in the market when this happened, as opposed to kind of wanting to grab a trade out of, fear of missing out. I literally happily watched this happen. Most of it. I wasn't obviously checking the charts for the whole day, but when I kind of saw this push down, I was like, oh damn, we're pushing down. It was a matter of time. Even if we go to the daily, look at this. Look at these rejections off of that area here. Just huge top wicks, just rejecting, not being able to push up further and sustain that level. Just basically GBP having a hard time remaining bullish, and Japanese yen taking over. So if price is able to come back up and create basically a lower high here and not break above this area, but instead close below it, then I'd be looking to take a sell if that's the case. but who knows, this could be like a fake out and come back up. So we'll see what happens with that. It definitely could have been news that caused this to happen. I'm not too sure. Let's check. Oh, it is raining like crazy outside. I don't know, something could have happened with the news. I mean, 8:30, there was USD news that could definitely affect, you know, GBP. Everything is kind of intertwined, especially with like the bigger countries like the US, you know, Britain, all those places. So yeah, I don't think there were huge news events, but I guess maybe this 8:30 news, like when did this drop happen? You hear the echo? 9 a.m. Yeah, so this could have just been from that US news, some sort of correlation that weakened GBP, strengthened JPY, and caused it to drop. But either way, it's already happened. That's neither here nor there. It doesn't affect what now is happening. We want to know what's happening now. It doesn't affect my mindset to what price is doing now. How do I explain it? It does affect my mindset just because obviously we see the bullish or the bearish momentum, but I'm focused on current time. Like this has already happened. It is what it is. Now we're just waiting to see what price does. So this is the 1 hour and I see these, you know, indecision candles happening. So I don't know if this is going to mean that price is going to pull up, but if it doesn't, we might see a continuation to the downside already. I'm just going to remain reactive. I am going to keep in mind that there is this area here that price kind of tapped and pushed up from. I just don't know if it's a strong enough level to push up strongly from and like break, but really at this point, it's like, okay, we're going to wait for, or I'm going to wait for this to happen where price pushes up, sustains this level, then starts pushing down, or I'm going to wait for price to break above, pull back, sustain this level as a support, as opposed to a resistance, sustain it as a support, and then push up, or price might just continue down. So we'll just kind of see what happens. Either way, we will manage our risk. So I'll keep you guys updated. I'm gonna go, you know, jam out, enjoy this versus before it finishes, and we'll be back once our trading time is here. So yeah. All right, so it is Wednesday, September the 15th, 2:31 in the morning. And as you can see, I've decided to enter a short position. I was essentially just waiting for the 30-minute candle to close. And once it closed with a top wick, basically doing what I was looking for it to do, which was coming back up to this area and rejecting it, I entered a short position. But as you can see, GJ is pushing up. So I don't know, we'll see if it's going to just create a wick and continue pushing down like it has been. But at this point, I've already set my stop loss. I've set my take profit. It is in the hands of the market at this point. The good thing is because I'm only risking just 1%, it'll only be half of basically the profits that I've already made from yesterday morning's trade. So pretty much just gotta wait and see, gotta keep calm psychologically. I'm emotionless, you know, if it hits my stop loss, it hits my stop loss. If it hits my take profit, it hits my take profit. It is what it is. You know, of course, this is an area where price pulled up from, where if we go to a higher time frame, it has a tendency to push up from this area as well. So I don't know, we'll see. And with the 2 a.m. news that came with GBP, the news was positive, so that was essentially what caused price to push back up to this area, but it seems to not have had momentum to break above it with that news. So I'm hoping that that is an indication that, you know, bears are still in control in some sort of aspect right now, and we're just going to continue with this bearish momentum, the lower lows, lower highs that we have been seeing for the last few hours. But yeah, guys, at this point, I'm exhausted. I just finished watching that versus battle, which was really fun. I edited a whole video for my second channel, so I think I've earned the right to go to bed now, especially since my stop loss and my take profit are set. That's all I care about, especially my stop loss. I'm good. And yeah, so I will let you guys know how this trade turns out, whether it's a loss or a win. I'll let you guys know, and we'll go from there. So right after I finished filming that last clip, like literally seconds after, I actually ended up moving my stop loss up just about 6.6 pips, literally. And it's just because I wanted to put my stop loss above the high of this previous lower high, just because I felt like that made more sense structure wise, and it would be above this level here, and I just felt more comfortable doing that. And the result of that was it was still a loss. So so that's kind of unfortunate. But that being said, if you can see, price did end up pushing down, literally stopped me out by the pip, and the moment it did that, it pushed right down, hitting my take profit with ease. So it was just one of those things where, yes, my bias was correct. My stop loss was just still a bit too tight. You know, if it was just like a couple pips higher, but I can't really beat myself up about that. It is what it is. You know, we just got to keep it moving. So yeah, this is pretty much how my week ended overall. I'll just go through the rest of the trades because I didn't end up filming myself as I was taking the trades. I find that a bit time consuming. I find that a bit tiring, especially when I am just in the zone of trading. You know, I feel like obviously it's more important just to focus on the charts, and then I can just review it with you guys later, right? Let me get Hugo's Way up actually. Okay, so Hugo's Way is up, and hopefully this will be a quicker video because my camera is dying. Oh my gosh. If you guys see me in the same outfit, y'all, as the next video, just mind your business. I am batch filming. I am gonna be away for my birthday, so I need to film content for y'all so you guys can, you know, get content while I'm away. But anyways, so this next trade that I took was on, let's see, would have been on the 16th. Let's check the calendar because obviously things have been happening. So yeah, the 16th, which was the Thursday, and this is how the trade started. And I had entered, so at that point I kind of drew a box around what I thought was the range. I don't know why I didn't include that. I thought that was just a fake out. Again, it's crazy because it's like, it's all perception of the market. Everyone will see something different, but until the market plays out, you won't see the bigger picture. So in this case, it was my trading time. I saw that bearish pressure again. I gave my bias a second chance, and the result was that my stop loss was hit. So mind you, when I go down to the lower time frame, so at first, the first entry, it made sense. I entered the second position, it made sense. Now, when price started pushing down, when price got to this area, I decided to enter another sell when in reality I should not have. So that was definitely the biggest mistake I made of this week, was entering that sell, that third one, because two should have been enough and they would have both hit break even, and that would have been that. They would have just been stopped out at break even. But instead, this one didn't give me a chance to even put it at break even, and it just pushed up. And yeah, so that ended up being a 1% loss on an already, you know, on an account that I was already trying to recover. And, you know, at this point, I was 40 pips up at the time, then I lost 26 pips, and then I lost another 20 pips. So at this point, I'm negative 6 pips, which, I mean, yeah, it's not a big deal, but I was still down. Yeah, so just not a good trade. Reading it wasn't the best. Like, I didn't read it too well, and price ended up pushing up, tapping the top of this zone again where I was stopped out previously, and it came up even again. So now I started to see that we were in this range. Now I was like, okay, we are seeing this range. That previous box that I had around this area did not make sense. It was more like this. So yeah, then I realized. So it's good to realize after, because then you learn from it, right? You know, you get to do better. So after that trade, you know, I reviewed it. I wrote in my trading journal and all that good stuff. There was something on my keyboard. And then I moved on to the next trade. Mentally, I was still okay. I was just kind of annoyed at myself for taking that third entry, but I was still fine. I told myself, you know, at this point, this is when winners are made. You know, I either embrace the struggle and push through it, or I give up, and giving up was not an option. So I kept going. I did not revenge trade. I just simply waited for my next trading time. So that ended up coming at, let me just exit these. That next time came at, technically, well, it was the 17th, but we'll call it the 16th just because my first position was at 11:44 p.m. and it ended up being a break-even trade. But basically my analysis or my thought process for this trade was that we rallied back up to this, the top of the range. And once we got to this area, I wanted to see what price was going to do. I did put a minor zone here. I did put one here just because it looked like it was forming a support level, like higher lows, higher highs, just on the lower time frames. By lower time frame, I mean 30-minute time frame. And I just wanted to see what would happen. and the result was that it did push up. Price was able to push up, but then it pulled back, essentially kind of retesting this area before pushing up again. Although my take profit wouldn't have been hit either way. So going into the actual markets and seeing what happened, my stop losses were put at break even fairly quickly. I entered a trade at 11:44 p.m. and then another one at 12:22 a.m. on the 17th. So yeah, about 40 minutes apart. They weren't rushed. I just literally was just waiting to see what the market would give me. I entered my second position once I saw price actually pushing away from this area. And yeah, immediately put it at break even. And as you can see, price just pushed back down. It actually pushed back down to this minor support level that I drew, and it started pushing off from there. So yeah, just, I mean, I guess right idea, whatever. It was a well-managed trade, just the probability wasn't in my favor. It could have definitely pushed up from here, but you know, I was using obviously this as well as kind of my take profit area. Well, I was using obviously 1 to 2 risk reward, but it just so happened to kind of coincide with this area where price had pushed down previously. So had price had momentum to push up to this area, that would be great, but it didn't. So it is what it is. I'm glad that I just managed my trade well, put it at break even as soon as possible. I traded defensively as opposed to offensively. And by that, I just mean that I traded defensively in terms of I just secured my risk as soon as possible. And then, yeah, I just kind of like lowered my risk as soon as possible. And then I went from there. And the last trade that I took this week was actually a trade during New York session. And I find this interesting because, yes, my trading time is during London session, but as you can see, London session, even last week, even if you go to the last video I filmed with just all those losses that I was doing and all those mistakes, I was noticing after reviewing just all those trades was that there were a lot more opportunities during New York session, and I backtested GJ on New York session a little bit, but I feel like maybe I can do it a bit more. We'll see. But yeah, I saw this beautiful setup here. So essentially what happened was price had, I'm just going to show you the before. Price I saw was, you know, finally sustaining this level. And at first I thought, okay, we're going to be pushing up. And then I saw that price rejected this area here. So this zone wasn't formed there just yet. It was when price rejected this range. So essentially, remember, this was the top of the range before, and then it became a support. So at first it was the top of the range, and that would have been a resistance, and then it became support. So price tapped it twice as support. It was a familiar area for price. It was a comfortable area for price, as you know, as we can say. And then price started pushing up from it. It wasn't until price came back to this area a second time that I formed this zone here, and I saw that it actually was a double top. And that resulted in obviously me taking a sell, as you can see. So once I saw this happen, it spiked down. I saw this level just being sustained on the, this is a 15-minute, but I was looking at the 30-minute at the time. So once I saw this level being sustained, I saw this huge wick and rejection. I followed that momentum and I entered a sell, and there basically it was just pushing down. So I entered a sell at 926, entered another one at 928. So essentially I was risking 2%. I was risking 2%. And the moment that price pushed down, I started putting it into break even. So by the time I entered my third position, my first two were at break even. So when I entered this position here, yeah, these two were at break even. And then from there, price just started pushing down. And I just, because it was a Friday, there were a couple factors. Because it was a Friday, I knew that once price made its decision for the direction, there was a higher chance that it would just continue in that direction for the rest of the day until market close. Also because of that double top. Also because price had so many chances to break up to the upside. You know, and for some people, they may look at this range like as a pivot point, because this is what I thought it was at first, a change in direction of the market. So, you know, we have that push down, and then we have this huge momentum or this huge range for a long time, for a couple of days, and then we have a push up. So you would think, okay, we're pushing up, and then you have this retest, and then you have this push. You're expecting a push up, but the moment that that double top was formed, pretty much it was about reacting to what the market was doing instead of just like assuming. Once this candlestick closed, this 30-minute candlestick, you know, for me, I saw that the bears were definitely in control and that they were going to push the market back down. So essentially, you can kind of consider this a fake out of the range. You know, it kind of broke up and then it pushed right back down into it. And as you can see, market is closed now and it came right back down to the bottom. Like, this is just a very familiar area for price right now. It's just comfortable staying there. So yeah, if we go to the higher time frames, we can kind of see better just what was happening. And we can just see that, you know, the bears were, I guess this can be considered a lower high in a way. And the daily was just, the daily looks like a mess, I'll be honest with you. And you would think that because of these dojis, that price was just indecisive about going down and push up. But these fake outs, man, these fake outs with GJ are real, okay? And it really just takes just time, putting time into the markets and knowing how GJ moves to know that this was going to happen. So yeah, took advantage of this, managed my trade. Once I saw that price was in momentum to the downside, I started moving my take profit down, and I manually closed out at around, I think, what time was it? Closed out around, where are my numbers? Hey, I didn't put the times. That's not like me. I gotta go back and put the time. But basically, let me just go to my MT4 and I will tell you guys in 1 minute. It was 10:45. Yeah, I closed out on these trades at 10:45 a.m. So yeah, that was an 8% gain because of these pips that I collected. So in total, if we look at just the pips, we started off with 40 pips. We gave 26 pips back to the market. Then we gave 20 pips back to the market. So we were left with -6 pips. And then it was just straight break even trades. And then from there, we gained 54 pips plus 49 plus 43. So in total, 140 standard pips, which is 1,400 micro pips is what we gained this week, which is great. It ended up being an 8% gain just on that trade. And overall, in total, like from the beginning of the account till now, I'm now up 4%. So let's just look at MT4 to see that. We are now at 520.07. And if you do the math, $20.07 divided by 520 is 3.8%. Give me my 0.2%. It's 4% gain. So yeah, as you can see, a lot of stop losses were being hit and only a couple take profits were hit. But either way, they were hit, you know, they were hit. And so these were big contenders. I'm very proud of how I managed these trades. I'm very proud of how I took advantage of the trades, and I manually exited where I did because I just felt like I was happy with the reward and I just took what the market gave me, and that was just that. So yeah, you may see me taking more trades during New York session if the opportunity, presents itself, just because, it just gives me more chances to make money. I will still only be focusing on taking one trade, and mind you, it's because this trade was break even, so it ended up being like zero, kind of like a zero trade, like it kind of canceled itself out. That's why I was very confident to still look at the chart after. Usually once I take my trade, I'm done. Like I don't look at the charts that hectically, but this one I was actually looking at the setup and it intrigued me. So yeah, it's just because that first trade was break even that I was just like, it is what it is. I can take another trade. But that being said, guys, let's just quickly do a market analysis. I need to see my battery's still okay. So yeah, let's just go to the top. So we're halfway through September. We are halfway through September. It is almost Libra season. Okay, Libra season is among us. I'm happy about that, obviously, because I'm a Libra. My birthday is soon. As of filming right now, it's the 17th. My birthday is in 11 days. It's the 28th. So remember, please. Yeah, so we see that the monthly is now bearish. So it was bullish for a little bit, but now as you can see, we're creating the top wick and we're pushing down. Don't know if, price is going to just make another wick and push up. We'll see. But right now, the only main thing that I take away from this is that price is bearish. That's monthly is bearish. And when I go down to the weekly is bearish as well. So I just want to know if it's bearish or bullish, basically, at this point. So the weekly closed with a large upper wick and a large body, I would say, a fairly large body. And there's a small little lower wick there. So I'm curious to see if price is just going to continue kind of filling this space here in the next week, or if it's just going to shoot right back up like how it did here. It just shoots down and shoots back up. we don't know. GJ is moody, okay? She real moody. Going down to the daily, like I said, the daily has just been not cute, honestly. It's not too easy to trade when price is doing this, so you just got to be very careful and cautious. But as you can see, you know, we are going down, even though this is an ugly these are ugly candlesticks. They're not the nicest looking. We are still going to the downside, and if we scale out, we see that we are pushing down. We're sustaining this kind of downward trend. So we'll see if that continues next week, or if we just boom, push right back up. Now the H4, I feel like it's more legible, it's more readable in my opinion. Right now we are at this area here where obviously is the bottom of that range that I was talking about. Price keeps coming back to it. It's been coming back to it since the 15th. And if we look left, it was an area where price had previously pushed up from in the recent past, you know, end of August. I would say that's pretty recent. But yeah, I want to see if we are going to sustain this level, because as you can see, price closed differently than it did previously. Previously, it would push down, tap it, and push back up. But in this case, it has pushed down and it's stayed in this area. It's closed in this zone. It would be different, I guess, or more clear if price closed below, just like below these wicks. But I mean, for me, that would definitely indicate that the bears definitely want to, oh, sorry, I'm on the 1 hour. That the bears are definitely still wanting to kind of do something, but you never know. We can see that happen, or we can see price reject this area once again and start to push up. At this point, I may not be trading so much, especially because next week is very hectic. I'll be preparing a lot for my trip, and I don't want the excitement of that or the stress of that to affect my trading. So maybe I'll take 1 or 2 trades, maybe I won't take any. Maybe I'll just, you know, bask in the profits that I have and just kind of remain there. But we'll see. I just have to be reactive. I need to tell myself I am a great trader. I am a sensible trader. I'm a wise trader. I know what I'm doing. I make sure that I take only high probability trades and that I don't make mistakes, or I minimize my mistakes. So just kind of telling myself that. So yeah, guys, we'll just see what happens at this point. There's not much really to see, but at this point, if price pushes down, closes below, and pulls back, I would be taking a sell. Or if it sustains this level, then we can kind of be looking for buys. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There's not much to really predict at this point. I don't want to try to predict. I just want to react to what the market is giving us. So that is pretty much it, guys. I'm going to run because my battery is dying, but I appreciate you guys so much for stopping by and watching this video. We are back up on this account, so we'll see how we continue to grow it. At this point, emotionally, I am neutral. I'm confident, yeah, but I'm not overly confident. I'm proud of myself for how I managed my losses and my wins, how I overcame my losses and how I took my wins. Either way, every trading day is a new day, so we just got to approach it as that and be the best traders that we can be. And I hope you had a great trading week yourself. I talked a lot. But if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by smashing that like button. Also comment down below. Let me know how your week was. You know, was it great? Was it bad? If it was bad, what did you do to try to kind of get yourself back in the zone, to remind yourself that you can do this, you know, you can trade. And yeah, just what things do you do psychologically wise just to kind of keep yourself focused? And last but not least, don't forget to subscribe so you know when I post another video. And in the meantime, feel free to check out any of my other videos on this channel and my other channel, Candace B TV, where I vlog. But anyways, guys, I hope you have an amazing, amazing day, week, and life. Bye.